Symphony 2 was the very beginning of the new saga, and we wanted on purpose to make it so big, so orchestral, so complex, and somehow it's a big opera.
This time, after a kind of descriptive album like Symphony of Enchanted Lands Part 2, we passed to a kind of an album where we have pure action, lyrically and musically.
After the tour, and this very successful tour we did in the United States, in Canada, and these two big festivals in Europe, and we had really the feeling that we had to compose some songs to have fun on stage.
This is the album where we composed the songs, really thinking about the fact that we will play them on tour. These words can really stick in the mind of the people, so that then we can have a party all together and singing all together all night.
For man, dragons and dwarfs, spirits of the forest, shyouts and trolls. Five go from Elga into the darkest deep in the light, to find the black waters, immortal dark crimes.
I think the Triumph for Agony is a dark, epic album, the most epic of all.
As I said, we wanted to have the melodies, the vocals more in front, and I arranged the orchestra and the keyboards in a way that everything is more clear to understand, even if it's still complex.
Of course, for every artist, the album that is just the last ready to be available in the shops is the best one. Usually it's like this, no, for every artist. But I think this Triumph for Agony contains a lot of magic.
Maybe after the experience we had on stage, and after the release of Live in Canada, we end up seeing Rhapsody in a different way, you know. So you hear the band playing, you hear the orchestra, of course, but the band is really powerful, you know. So this was somehow probably influencing the songwriting for Triumph for Agony and the way we like to approach the mix this time. We start from the drums. Very powerful drum sound. The guitars, the bass and everything. And then around that we put all this sort of orchestration and stuff. So the sound is more clear, still very rich.
The fact that we want really Fabio up front is something that we decided before starting composing this album, no? In the sense that it was important in this album, as we speak always about action, really to represent this action with really great lead vocal lines.
The big melodies comes out, you know, so the vocals are very present, you can hear them very well, you know. You can really taste the Fabio performance, you know, more than ever. In a song like Il Canto del Vento that Fabio actually composed himself, and songs where he sings in a completely different way, very rough and melodic, so it's a great display of what he can do.
First part of the album that allows Fabio to put out all his emotion, while in the second part he sings more aggressive. Orchestra, then the big choir, as always.
Fleeing through the labyrinths, with the hordes of the living dead fast upon them, once again they found themselves trapped in front of the abyss.
Again, Christopher Lee narrating, we have many surprises.
We've had, I think, 7 different voice talents that we've recorded, from Susanna York and, of course, Mr. Lee. To a whole cast of actors that have just been outstanding.
This is your lovely daughter.
Yes.
And it's the first time she's been in a studio and done voice, but she was wonderful.
Yes.
She did a great job.
Yes.
And she obviously inherited the talent from someone.
Around.
You know much about the character you play?
It's Lothian warrior princess of the Shadowlands.
Have you had to play a warrior princess before?
Oh, it's natural.
My heart goes with you beyond mountains and oceans.
Susanna York between the other actors, the mother of Superman.
The entire cast was just superb. They got very involved with the parts and their characters, so they really came to life in terms of what they contributed to the project.
What's interesting, I find, about something like this is the colors, the textures that a piece like this has.
The lines sort of speak for themselves, the way the lines are written, and because they've got that sort of mythical quality about them, you sort of get a sense of them as soon as you look at the lines.
It has a wonderful feeling of another world.
The mix is better because we decided to focus the orchestra and the features, the choir and all these special elements for example, in the very long song.
In this song, The Mystic Prophecy of the Demon Knight, there is this particular moment where we wanted really to represent with a cinematic approach when our heroes find themselves in front of the altar with the book.
Great Lords of Thunder, the seventh lost book, there upon the altar.
Yes, that is the book. I'm sure of it. I've heard my father describe it many times. Let us take
We put narrators, dialogues, actors and movie effects.
That we recorded in London that really gave life to a kind of cinema scene.
Let us make haste. This was too easy.
Il Canto del Vento is a song that Fabio composed and he composed for himself.
I remember that he was singing this song to me in an airport in Germany.
He wanted us to listen and we like it.
Of course, every song of all the Rhapsody discography was composed by Alex and me. And so to have finally something from Fabio is fantastic, no?
It got not a fixed tempo, it's floating a little bit, so it's free and it's very poetic and I feel that it's a very special song.
We changed the name from Rhapsody into Rhapsody of Fire because there was already a person that registered the name Rhapsody many years before we formed our band. But in the end, you know, it was not a big problem because we reached this kind of compromise, an agreement with this person. Rhapsody of Fire is a very strong name. There is a beautiful contrast between the word Rhapsody that represents the classical, more orchestral side of the band, with the word in contrast with the word Fire that represents the most metal side of Rhapsody.
A lot of journalists, almost everybody that listened to the album had the same reaction, you know? So everybody so excited, everybody somehow are going to ask the same questions because the album gives them the same impression to everybody. There is a fantastic limited edition coming out and we have some bonus tracks. Actually, we have the song Son of Pain, the ballad, one of the ballads, and we made it in English, in Italian and in French.
Of course, all the Rhapsody fans will have the possibility finally, I think around January and February of 2007, to enjoy the first DVD live of Rhapsody. Great shots from the Earthshaker Festival, for example, or from the USA and Canada tour.
So we wanted to give more breath to the songs. And we are very proud and happy to give this new style to our fans. And it's very epic. It's still a Rhapsody, but there's the epic in a different way, you know.
If you listen to the last words of Christopher Lee in the last title, Dark Reign of Fire, he underlined the fact that today, at the whisper of the darkest winds, a new saga begins. So this means everything. Just something is starting now, so you can imagine that we go on for sure.
At the whisper of the darkest wind.